So here I am in the kitchen. Yeah, because y'all ain't send me no invite fast enough. So here we are. Let's get to it. Let's get to it, my loves. Let's get to it. I'm finna do something real quick, real slight. You know, I bought a few chuck roasters here. Yeah, and I'm finna slice them up a little thinner than the norm because yeah, we ain't finna be doing this all day. We ain't finna be doing this all day. And not even that, you know, after I get this food on, after I get this food on, I'm about to finish my daughter's hair. Because yes, I've been doing hair. She got me doing hair and stuff. Like, you know, like I ain't been stopped doing hair years ago. But yes, how was the day going? How was the day going? Good, great, awesome. All of you love. Okay. What's in the microwave? The microwave has stopped. The microwave has stopped. The microwave done stopped. You want that? What? Sausage biscuit.
So why'd you fix
whatever.
it? Huh? Why'd you fix it? I didn't fix it.
Ashton, stop playing and get it.
I didn't fix
Jamera,
it.
I saw you fix that.
I didn't fix this.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Which one of y'all lying?
No, she is. I ate.
Ashton, Jamera, you opened that and you put that in the microwave.
He did, and I did. I was just. Oh, did you see what? Did you see that one?
Did I see what?
That one was on.
Zip it back before it gets freezer burn.
It was good.
I know, I told you. You'll never be wanting to try nothing new.
That's literally what you were at.
What she said?
But I told you.
So first things first, I'm about to chop up this chuck roast that I got. Because y'all know that's going to take the longest. Oh, I love these slips and knives, baby. These knives don't even play. You get me? But yeah, that's going to take the longest. So we're going to slice this up a little bit. So we can give dinner still being done before it fits. Because y'all know this roast. The real roast cookers know that these take time because of how thick the meat is. So you know I ain't doing too. They still kind of cut it a little bit. They still got the thickness. You still want to give it that thickness that comes with a roast. So I ain't gonna spice it like too much, but it's gonna be thin enough to be nice and tender and juicy within the next few hours. You know, because it's Sunday, baby. And I'm also doing some macaroni. My kids love my macaroni, so I got to do macaroni. I kind of wanted greens. Ashton wanted green beans. Jamera didn't care, so Ashton wanted that. And rice. And we're going to do some muffins. Slight, but right. Slight, but right. But y'all know what? I was up early. I was up late. And I got up early because, you know, I had to do my 1-2. Get some extra coins. So, yeah, I got up early. Got in traffic. And I'm back home doing what I'm doing. But while I was out, whew, and I tell you, when I tell you, God just be spitting the truth. Yeah, that's why I be telling everybody, it's good to keep your heart in a place. The heart posture that I always tell us to always have, one where there is no envy, no jealousy, no maliciousness, no hate, no evil. The heart posture that I encourage on a daily for us all to take whatever steps necessary to get, is for those type of moments when God wants to pour into you more knowledge, more wisdom, more truth. You can't have those blockages set up, or those blockages in the way to be able to receive. That was just a little interjection. But yeah, I was going to put this roast in my crock pot, but because I done sliced it the way that I done sliced it, I'm gonna use the roasted pan. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use the roasted pan so it can get it out, proportioned properly. You know. So, but yeah, God was, God was speaking, and I'm just so honored. I feel so honored. I feel so privileged. I just feel like God be doing His thing, But yes, one of the things that, and y'all know what today is. It is Resurrection Sunday, right? Yes. So, God already know how I feel about today. Like many of you, I was born into a way, and up until a good, I'm gonna give it a good 4, maybe 5. Oh, it's 5. I'm gonna say a strong 4. Strong 3-4. Up until the last strong 3-4 years was when I decided to withdraw and continue on my journey with up until the last few years, few being more than 2 and a little less than 4. I decided to take what I've already learned and seek out God a little deeper, a little more. And in me doing so, a lot has been revealed. A lot has been, shown to me, given to me, and even in that has been one of my biggest, one of the most greatest things that I am grateful for. Because, everybody has a path, everybody has a way, everybody has an option. And, I chose to just dig a little deeper. And in my doing so, as years began to pass, I used to not really feel for this particular day. Like, the more, I begin to question it a little more. I begin to wonder about it a little more. Like, what really is happening? Like, what? Like, why is it that we have created a day to celebrate the resurrection of one that we speak of to be great, powerful, almighty, king? Like, why have we been given this day to celebrate? I mean, because people will look at you crazy if you just tell them straight up, like, no, I don't celebrate Easter. They'll look at you sideways, like, huh? And I mean, to each his own. But just to be clear here, I don't celebrate Easter. And today, God really confirmed why it's okay for me not to. Because my take on it has always been, why was he killed in the first place? Why was he slaughtered and killed to start with? Like, that's always been one of my questions. You know, one of the things that I started to look at, you know. And today, you know, and I'm gonna tell y'all how the breakdown started. So last night I was laying in bed and I was led to get up and start writing. I'm going to share what I wrote today. You know, I am gonna share it, but you know, I gotta get these groceries on for the children first. But yeah, it started last night. You know, picked up that pen, put that pen to that paper. Y'all already know what happened when that pen goes to that paper. Yeah. Fresh manna. Fresh manna. And like I said, I'm going to share it later. Today. That's the plan. That's the goal. But, yeah. That's like I said, it started last night. So, and me really seeing seeing in depth why today was even created. You know, God started revealing that to me last night. Or full day this morning, should I say, when I just rolled up and grabbed my pen in my notebook. Yeah. So I got up this morning and I caught a play on 7 something this morning. So, you know, I got up and I was in the car and I had to drive. So the song, like, it wasn't no music playing in the car, right? It was no music playing in the car. It was just, you know, me. I just was, you know, getting where I need to get. And the song that came to my mind, y'all, like, I started singing a song that I know so many of y'all heard today. I know it was the blood. I know it was the blood. I know it was the blood that saved me. That song right there, I heard, and I didn't hear this song, y'all. I started singing the song, like I was the one singing. It was not on the radio. So first I was like, okay. And all that I know, for real, and all that was confirmed to me by you, God, last night, or 4 days this morning. Why is this song on my lips? Why is this song in my spirit? Like, what is it? What is it? Like, what is it that you want me to hear? What is it that you want me to know? So I started singing. I was like, I know it was the blood. And then when I started singing it, I know it was the blood. I know it was the blood that saved me. I then said out loud, so who did the blood save for real? So, you know, I started me, God, and my higher self. We was just like, we was having a whole serious vibe. Like, so who did it save for real? Like I said, with the truth that was given to me last night, I had to merge it over until today. Who did the blood save for real? Now, from the simple truths that we already know about Christ, the story that was given to us about Christ, right? The lover, you know, loved all, you know, loved hard. God, you know, God ordained Christ to come here to be the love back into this world. So who did his blood save? I'll wait. What do you say? Some of y'all might be saying me. But we're going to go a little deeper, because the truth of the matter is Christ was the juice, the dose of love that God was giving back, reminding the world of. And the hands of evil, yeah, Christ was the love that God sent, because things was getting crazy when I had people was just doing what Christ came to remind us of God. Seek ye God. Yeah, that's what Christ came to do. Love. Remind us of God's love, right? And he was killed and slaughtered by the hands of evil. We're not gonna put a face to any of it. Evil is what killed and slaughtered Christ, right? Christ was love. Evil, hate, killed him. And we don't even speak on that. That fact has some way been completely erased from the minds of many. Completely looked over from the minds of many. And now we focus more so on his resurrection. Okay, cool. So with that, evil tried to take out love. Hate tried to destroy love, the knowledge of God, the knowledge of truth, the knowledge of love from God to us. That's what the hand of evil tried to do. That's what the spirit of evil tried to do. But then he got up. So that is enough for me to know that at the end of the day, yeah, the day got to end, but love is what wins. God is what wins. You know? Out the gate. Even with everything that, you know, even with all of the wordplay and all of the illusions placed. At the end of the day, they couldn't even keep that out of the story. At the end of the day, God wins. Love wins. Because why? Even they told you, Christ got up. So now I need y'all to stay with me and keep going with me, because we're finna go somewhere else. This day, was this day established to keep the fear of what happens or what could happen if you, me, decides to do what Christ did when Christ came? For real. If we decide to do what Christ did, or just go with the flow of what we're being told we should do. Because there's a difference. There's a complete difference. And when I look around in the world, I see a lot of doers of what they're being told rather than doers of what Christ told us to do. I'm just saying. That's my truth. Because if I just keep it a book, when I started doing what Christ told us to do, rather than having an excuse for doing what I want to do, when I started doing that, my life changed. Yeah, my life changed tremendously. And I'm not here to point the finger at anyone that, you know, went and indulged in what I would say an illusion that has been placed over this world, because we all have to come to a place of really being able to see for real. And if you don't see for real, you might be looking at me and you still don't even feel what I'm saying for real. And that's okay, because there will be that moment in time. You know why? Because God is going to make sure that each and every one of us know him for real. But we have to really choose to do what Christ said for us to do, and not blame us not yielding our members. Yeah, that was something. Not blaming us for yielding our members or not yielding our members, and choosing and deciding to do what we want to do or not do what we want to do, or, you know, changing our heart's desire. You know that. Yeah, so I was just in awe when God kind of broke it down a little more. And, you know, God said a lot. God revealed a lot to me. And, you know, I'm going to share it. I'm going to share it. I don't know if I'll be able to share it all today because, like I said, I got a lot to do. But just know that Christ came to tell us how to be able to fellowship with God, our Creator. And that's why I encourage us every day that I do get on here. That's why I encourage you to tap into your Creator, because once you do that, it's up. And it's forever stuff. I love y'all. I do. I'm finna get back to cooking. And like I said, I'll be back. I will be back. So I put the roast in the oven. But yeah. One thing that I just remembered that I didn't really finish my thoughts on was today. Was it truly created for us to celebrate the fact that Christ got up? Or was it to remind those of what could happen if you do what Christ did? Was it to erase the fact that an innocent man was killed? An innocent man was slaughtered. An innocent man who everybody spoke about prior to the arrival, prior to the birth of him. He was taken out. Like, tried to physically remove him from planet Earth, not knowing that Christ already had a conversation with God. And I choose to believe that that line where it says, if there be any other way, that is when, you know, that could be when God was showing him what was to come. And when God said, no, this is the way, Christ said, okay, then cool. So I just got to chill. Because Christ knew what power God had. But then and then only was when Christ had to remind himself that no matter of the outcome, I know God is with me. So I'm going to play it cool. I'm not going to disrupt things like I have the power to do. I'm going to play it cool. Because if God said that this is we gonna let this play out like this, there must be a plot twist. There must be a plot twist. There must be a bigger and greater way for God's creation to really know and understand that God loves them. That God is not far from them. That God is right here with them. Because a lot of them are not even receiving what I'm saying. You know, a lot of them are not even, think about it. With all the truth that Christ was giving out, he only had 12 people with him. 12. So that should let you know right there, because you would think with everything that he was saying and giving out, you would think that everybody followed him. You know, if I was one of the men, my wife and children, all of us would be following, you know. But for whatever reason, they only speak of the 12, you know. So it's still a lot that only God can reveal. But this is why I encourage us to go within, because God gonna get your heart in the right place. Choose to go within. Choose to heal. And watch how God will freely give you truths that no one speaks of, because they don't know it. Because they don't know it. Yeah, these are just steps to the illusion being completely broken, because it's coming. It's coming. And that is the day that I live to see. I love y'all.